Probably the most prominent and striking aspects of Horizon are its beautifully crafted world and the compelling narrative that surrounds it. Humans coexist with enigmatic robotic creatures resembling real-world animals, while humans themselves seem to have lost all of their history and knowledge. In this world, you have tribal societies surviving by hunting massive robot beasts using bows and spears. And then there are mysterious ruins filled with advanced technology and holographic data logs, creating a fascinating blend of ancient and futuristic. The concept of this world is indeed remarkable. What exactly happened here and how did this unique situation come to be? Neither you nor the characters in the story have any clear answers. Instead, there are only legends.
When they rebelled and tried to murder All-Mother, her wrath leveled their cities, but could not cleanse their sin. Their ancient spite haunts those ruins, ready to ensnare anyone foolish enough to enter them.
Exploring this world was frankly fascinating. You get to wander among the ruins of the old cities, ancient facilities and laboratories, while learning about the people of the past. All this is done beautifully and immersive. But there is more than just history in this world. The present times and its inhabitants are also exceptionally well crafted. The various tribes, each with their own rules, traditions and histories. They are distinctly unique and you can easily distinguish Nora from Karja and Banuk from Oseram. Exploring their cultures and beliefs is a fantastic experience. Meridian, for example, feels massive, even though it's essentially a couple of houses. But within the game, it is a remarkable achievement of human engineering. As you delve deeper into the game, you gradually uncover mystery after mystery and make everything a bit more clear. You start to understand what caused the apocalypse that pushed humanity into a primitive era and the origin of the living machines.
What made her solution so terrible? What did she do to stop the robots?
And you become even more immersed, because this world's concept is truly one of a kind. It offers insights into human greed, militarism and the relentless pursuit of fame and power, all of which contribute to the apocalypse. It's a captivating idea and it's no wonder this game has gained such popularity. It's all incredibly fascinating and unlike any other game world I've encountered. Horizon Zero Dawn is a prime example of how to craft a world that's not just immersive, but also profoundly captivating. So the world is remarkable, and the concept is ingenious, but how does the game bring it all to life? How do the characters interact with this world? And what's the narrative surrounding this world building as it unfolds over time? The game kicks off on a strong note, I'd say. You begin as a child, which is a feature I particularly appreciate. I enjoy it when games use this hands-on approach for tutorials. It's not just you learning about the world, the character learns alongside you. But let's get back on track. You start as Aloy, an outcast orphan from the Nora tribe.
She's an outcast, to be shunned.
Raised by another outcast named Rost as his own. One day, Aloy falls down into the ruins of the Old Ones. Here she finds a weird device called Focus that is capable of displaying information and recordings through holograms. Here, the game allows you to explore this abandoned facility and listen to audio logs left behind by the people who once lived there. These logs reveal a tragic past. As these people faced impending doom, they made the brutal choice to commit a mass suicide. right here in this facility. Some of them recorded their final thoughts in audio logs that you are now listening to.
And maybe that's all I need, you know? That moment the door opened and you were standing there wearing that retro weave dress and the way you smiled. I had to look away or you were gonna see on my face what had just blossomed inside me, you know? It was just an instant, but I knew we'd be forever.
It is quite an impactful way to begin a game. As Aloy matures into adulthood, she seeks to prove herself to her tribe, the Nora. To do so, she must win the Proving, a competition that could elevate her from an outcast to a respected Nora Brave, the title that is granted to the tribe's finest warriors who defend the sacred lands by fending off dangerous machines and hostile outsiders.
Then I'll do it. Whatever it takes. I'll win the Proving.
However, during the Proving, a mysterious group of cultists launches an attack on the tribe, resulting in the death of many tribesmen, including Aloy's adoptive parent, Rost, who sacrificed his life to protect hers. Following the tragic events, Aloy is taken to the All-Mother Mountain, the most sacred place for the Nora tribe, generally accessible only to the High Matriarchs. Here, Aloy discovers that the mountain itself has given birth to her, as she just appeared one day behind a massive sealed door.
The mountain is your mother.
What?
Aloy and one of the High Matriarchs believe that behind this enormous door, Aloy can find answers to the questions about her identity and origin. When Aloy tries to gain entry, the door system recognizes her, but declares that it's corrupted and cannot open.
Error. Alpha registry corrupted. Identity cannot be confirmed. Entry denied.
Aloy decides to embark on a mission to heal this corruption, hoping that once the door opens, she will uncover the long-awaited answers. This kickstarts a vast quest chain that takes Aloy beyond the borders of Nora lands and uncovers far more than just her own origin. Along this journey, she unravels the secrets of both the past and the present, seeking answers about the cultists, the enigmatic Old Ones, the cause of the apocalypse, and her own significance in all of that. Everything gets revealed one by one, and honestly, at some moments, it gets really deep. First, humans created a man-made apocalypse with self-replicating robots that decided to annihilate all life. And then they realize that there is no hope. These robots will lead to inevitable human extinction.
There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Faro robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat.
The writing explores how people grapple with this existential threat. It raises some tough questions. What sacrifices must humanity make to save itself? How many lives are worth giving up? When there is no hope for survival, what do you even say to people? Should you reveal the harsh truths or allow them to hold on to hope during their final days? It's a heavy and thought-provoking narrative.
This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle.
As the world hurtled towards the inevitable apocalypse, humanity's last-ditch effort and hope rested on creating an AI with the capability to rebuild everything.
We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI.
This AI would first attempt to eliminate the murderous robots and then work on terraforming Earth back into a habitable environment. The concept was that while humanity and its existing civilization couldn't be saved, they could be reborn by preserving all knowledge and history and rejuvenating the Earth.
We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future.
In the final months of humanity's existence, the brightest minds on Earth worked tirelessly to construct this AI. They developed the AI itself, along with several subordinate functions. One was responsible for preserving all historical knowledge, another focused on safeguarding human genetic material for future rebuilding. Yet another was tasked with creating robots to aid in terraforming the planet, and so on. There was also one function responsible for destroying everything and ending life on Earth in case something went wrong. In hindsight, this last function might not have been such a brilliant idea. Obviously, that's how everything got out of hand and why humanity's rebuilding efforts went awry. This evil AI that was created with the sole purpose of destroying everything alive decided to do its job and destroy everything alive. What a shocker! As you can probably tell, I'm not a fan of this revelation. It's difficult for me to believe that the best minds among the old ones, who successfully created all the other AIs and their functions, wouldn't have foreseen that constructing an AI with the power to destroy all life wasn't a wise decision, particularly when they themselves were living through an apocalypse initiated by murderous machines.
From which they will learn of us, our world, and most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream.
And there are more issues with this story, like the fact that the main villain of the old ones, the person who plays a main role in causing the apocalypse and after whom it's named, never faces any consequences. That Faro is just a villainous villain who is evil for the sake of being evil, and others do nothing about it. He is the one responsible for creating the murderous robots and continuing their development, disregarding the growing danger until it's too late. Yet he isn't held accountable, neither killed nor imprisoned. No, instead he becomes one of the key figures working on Gaia in an effort to save the planet. Ultimately, it is revealed that he was in fact an evil villainous villain through to the end, as he betrays everyone and erases all of humanity's preserved history and knowledge.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. But sometimes, to protect innocence, innocents have to die.
Emergency alert. Venting atmosphere.
Yes, I hate him. Yes, I want to defeat him. But his character simply lacks depth. He ends up as a stereotypical, one-dimensional evil baddie, which is disappointing, especially in a world as complex as this one. Going further, the plot concerning the people of the current era didn't seem as captivating to me as the storyline about the old ones. I'm referring to the cultist activities and the intricacies between the various tribes. These stories aren't necessarily bad, but they don't match the depth and appeal of the main narrative about the old ones and the apocalypse. Dealing with the politics and rivalries among the tribes feels like filler material between the main storyline. A significant portion of the mid-game is dedicated to efforts to save a war chief from the Karja tribe, followed by preventing a terrorist attack on their capital and an assassination attempt on the Karja king. It's not a bad story, but I was way more eager to understand why colossal dinosaur-like robots are roaming the world and what caused the apocalypse. Instead, I find myself entangled in local politics. This questline feels like a detour from the main narrative, and it pales in comparison in terms of scale and significance when contrasted with the quest to unveil the origins of all living things and saving the world. Horizon Zero Dawn is a tale of survival, unraveling the past and shaping the future within a meticulously crafted post-apocalyptic world. I found the story of this world captivating. It depicts people giving up on their world as it hurtles towards an inevitable apocalypse, holding onto the hope that one day everything can be rebuilt. However, while the concept of the story is incredibly intriguing and the world building is impressive, the execution of the plot falls short of what one might expect. It contains several odd plot choices, noticeable plot holes, and at times just weak writing. In the end, it is a decent plot that I enjoyed, but it feels like it had the potential for a lot more than just decent. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing. It is very important to me and you'll help out a lot. This video was just a slice of my comprehensive retrospective review of Horizon Zero Dawn. If it is finished, you can watch the full review here. Otherwise, watch another slice right here.